Okay, so this is a controller only matchup. I know that this says I had keyboard and mouse, but that's showing up because I'm using the keyboard and mouse to cast this game. It's a lot smoother. I'll show you while I'm actually going through the cast. I'll switch back to the view from the controller and you'll see why. But yeah, it's controller only, and it's platinum rank. I believe he was platinum 1, I was platinum 2. I took a screenshot of it, so I'll put it up when I do the editing. But yeah, we've got English against Knights Templar. So yeah, English, you kind of know they're going to go out with the Council Hall or the Abbey of Kings. But either way, I'm kind of expecting, longbows. So my back on mine, I'm already thinking King of France Chevalier. So I'm going for the standard opening, stick all the vills on sheep, get the scout out, and I'm going to use my first vill to build a house, and then queue up the mining camp, and then you got the second vill wall. Yeah, go straight over to the mining camp. They'll probably finish up together and go on to gold. My scout, which is / on the keyboard, I learned that today, is just doing a little loop. Let me press M to bring this up. So we kind of meet in the middle there and spin her off into different directions. I just like to do a nice little loop around the base. F4 for town centre. I sometimes call it town hall because of all the Clash of Clans gamings. But yeah, town centre is rallying to sheep. So I've got 7, and I'll just keep rallying until I get enough food to age up. Probably happen around about the 3.5 minute mark. So I've flopped. I made a mistake here with dropping off the sheep. But yeah, minor glitch. So yeah, so here with the mouse, I've made it so that I can do what the PC guys do, push to the corners. I put that at about 50%. I think they have it at about 100%. And I've got the key arrows I can use, and that's at about 25%, so a little bit smoother. If I go over to what it would look like if I had the Xbox, this is what it looks like. Every time you move, the cursor, which is in the center of the screen, everything moves, right? So it's just so, come on. I don't know how I put up with it when I'm playing, man. It's just very distracting during the cast. So I'm definitely not gonna do that. Use the controller. I'm gonna go with this mode, and I can just, it's so easy to, to navigate. So there's the age up. Yep, 2.5 minutes. I just got this field to go through. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in the same, I reckon. Let's see. Yep, so his age up's just begun as well. So let me come down here, show Fog of War. For those that are playing Xbox, when you want to watch back, if you've got a keyboard and mouse, guys, it's just so much easier. So much more information available as well. So if you, down here at the bottom, this show pinned player information, so you can look at army value. We can look at income per minute up here. We get that over here as well. But obviously here you only see one player. So here you get both players. So you don't get this on the, when you're viewing it back with controller. So again, we bump into each other again. It's pretty much even Steven at the moment. Let's look at, is there points? I think there's a point, player score, there you go. So yeah, I think for now, the most relevant is going to be army value. But yeah, so I've reached the feudal age. He's a bit behind, obviously KT age up a bit faster. So he's going for Council Hall. I don't see that yet. He comes into my base and sees me going onto that deer. But I'm not too worried because it's at the back. I'm conscious of it though, because if he does go Abbey of Kings, then possible raids could come in. But I see here, whoops, let me switch over to my side. I see here, yeah, boom. So I'm like, okay, no worries. It kind of like, I got time, you know, like it hasn't fully gone up yet. Let me just explore some of the map, and you know, I'm going with my plan, which is get my stables down. I've got my, I'm not sure if my safe passage is in yet. Sometimes I get the, oh, safe passage is there yet. So I think safe passage went down first, and then, yeah, because I knew I was going to go onto this food here, this deer here, so I used all my wood fields to get enough for both. So something unfortunate happens here. It happened to me in the past again, highlighting the life. This guy was sharp, man. Looked straight into his base and boom. I think the English get extra arrows as well. And then, yeah, he just dumped his 14 villagers in and curtains, man. What is that? 7 sheep lost. But, you know what, it is what it is, man. Like, you just got to always be cautious around any TC really, but especially the English. So, you know, he's happy there. Look, he collects a nice little bunch. But it's calm. It's a big map. I'm on the deer, so I'm not too, like I'm not looking to resign anytime, you know, like rage quit or anything like that. So yeah, my first Chevalier Confrere is out. Got 1 pilgrim. Banking up that gold and food is decent. So yeah, I should start pumping. And he's got a Rax with his council hall, which makes sense. Obviously, I've got the archery range. Obviously, like I said, we're at platinum level, so the players know what they're doing. They know their civs. They know, you know, they've come across other civs and know their kind of strengths and their weaknesses, and they play accordingly, right? We understand the psychology of the game and the kind of mathematical side of it. And look, again, he's doing well. He's got his scout out. He minimized this, and he's doing recon. Like, you need information at this level. It's so key to just know what your opponent's doing, right? Use your scout. And look, he gets great information here. He sees that I'm walling off this section. And although you wouldn't expect it from English, right? Like, them to start coming over and raiding there, unless they're doing a longbow rush, you think they're going to be a bit more eco centric, but not at all, mate. Yeah, he's got spears and archers on the field. He knows where he's going, and you know, I'm late. I don't get this wall up in time. While that's going on though, I've got horsemen going into this stealth forest, waiting for my scout to catch up, and I think this horseman joins the party as well. This Chevalier. So let's open up Fog of War, and we see, yeah, he scouts back and he sees it isn't finished. So happy days for him. But let's see what happens, because I think I go for my raid right about now. So even though he's prepping himself, he's waiting for his, yeah, so the raid comes in here, and so he had a scout kind of coming out, and look, again, really quick into his tower. He's prepared. I go for this spear because I'm like, yeah, he's only got 1. I could take him out and then take out the archers. But then, boy, I wasn't ready for that. You know, this group here. So I see that and I'm like, yeah, let's get out of dodge. And I'm like, okay, cool. I need to start pumping archers. So yeah, there's a bunch there. Had I known, I would have taken them with me, man. But yeah, I just wasn't expecting it. So he regroups. I'm just going to do a little loop around with my guys, open up this part of the map, and make it a bit bigger. Yeah, okay, let me use this opportunity as I'm going back home anyway to just explore that part of the map. If I remember correctly, he starts bringing his army back over here because look, his scout's still lurking, and he wants to continue with his plan, which is to put pressure on, and it's a great plan. Let me go back to stats. So army values looking pretty much even. I'm getting more archers out. I've got my steeled arrow upgrade coming in. So yeah, I get my horsemen are back now, so my chevaliers send his scout back home. So he's got his army over here. So he's slowed down a little bit on army production. I guess this is the AMP thing, right? So he's got a lot going on in his base. So have I. Just trying to balance, the what do you call it, macro. I'm kind of running out of these. Some of my last sheep. Deer. I don't have any sheep. I got a few there actually. But that's going to finish up soon, so we have to be in an early farm transition. It seems, because I've only got this deer out here, and then he's got these ones which are risky. But I always, the timing's got to be right. And when I do go out, I put a tower and I wall off as well. So let's see. So army value again. He slowed down a bit. I'm 33% ahead. I'm walling off this section, getting harassed a little bit. But let's go and have a look in his base. So again, he's on the deer. He's burning through. Look at that. Food. Let's have a look what he's saying with his food. In fact, let's go and have a look over here. Income per minute. So his food is above mine. My wood is higher. Sort of equal on gold, which is interesting. I mean, he's using more vills than me, obviously. I've only got 2 vills on gold. He's got 8. So yeah, bit of kind of calm moment in the game here. His scout is positioned here. Let me think. I'm not sure if he's just. It looks a little bit precarious. Like, what is there? I don't know if he's looking for trading. Yeah, maybe looking for trading. Potentially looking, keeping an eye on the relic. Oh, I can't click it because it's on his page. Is that right? Maybe it's because of Fog of War. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's because it's on his. Let's go. The relic. There you go. Okay, so siege engineering completed. Did I do that? I think I put in siege engineering. Wow, which. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm here in the stealth forest thinking. I'm gonna go for another little push. Yeah, and I'm building 3 rams. His army's moving over here because he's going up with his white tower on this nice spawn. He's got the gold and the deer in the back, but he's got his gold in the front, so that's how it evens out. I got my gold was kind of to the back. It was kind of protected. Another gold in the back and deer in the back, so that was cool. But my wood line was terrible. Let's make that up a bit smaller and let's have a look what's going on over here. So let's go back to army value statistics. So look, I'm ahead, and I'm gonna do some decent damage here. So I get my scout to just sort of have a quick little look at what's going on. Oh no, in fact, so what I do is I distract him. So again, platinum level now, so you gotta be a little bit. You can't just be one-dimensional. That's kind of how we were playing when we was like in bronze and gold 1. But so I've learnt from some tactics here. So I'm gonna So I know he's going to react with his spears and archers. And he's quick, again, really quick, man, into the outpost. But yeah, I'm just trying to provoke a reaction here. So there they are. And it's out. And I'm out. So they're going to be like running around, chasing after me. And meanwhile, these guys are making a move. And I'm about 600-700 ahead in army value. But, you know, Cav have an advantage with regards to their movement speed. And, you know, I've got the Rams here now, so I do some decent damage. I could have done better. Like these guys are still chasing me, which, you know, that's a mistake on his behalf. And yeah, I'm going in. So I take out, there's no point taking the mining camp, doesn't mean anything, he's finished mining the gold, but I take out the tower. And I get some veil kills as well, so let's see. The veils jump in, but the tower's going to take him out. So with the Chevaliers, I should have brought them back round to come around the back to get these archers. That's the mistake I made, but yeah, I get all those 5 veils. So they go down. I get that spear, and I do get a few spears at the front here. So here, this would have been perfect time to have brought my Chevaliers around the back, but I'm just slow and I'm late. And obviously this is his base, so he's got his TC fire, although it's being tanked by the ram there, but he's got his production units. So he's, you know, I did well to take down his council wall, but he does have the white tower, which he can produce units from, and he's got his racks. Otherwise, it would have been in some serious trouble there. So yeah, I sort of see that I'm outnumbered here as well. He's producing units. My horsemen went down, my chevalier. So I think at this stage I'm like, let's just kick out. But problem is, I pressed hard left and selected all, and I went back to the sacred site here. But look how slow I'm moving. It's because I'm moving at the speed of the ram. And really, I should have left the rams. This is the micro that's, you know, not as easy on Xbox when you're doing the controller. I should have left the rams damaging and brought back my my unit. So anyway, yeah, I'm rallying to the sacred site. I didn't say that I actually went up with the Kingdom of Castile. So what that gives me is 20% extra damage when fighting around the sacred site, and healing. It's healing. The healing's not mega fast. If you pair it with Knights Hospitalier, it is phenomenal. And I do that whenever there's like a central sacred site and they're close. It's a small map, like Cliffside, for example. I'll more than likely always go with Hospitalier Knights into Kingdom of Castile, because you end up doing a lot of fighting over that central point. And the map where I do it 100% of the time is King of the Hill, because you've only got one sacred site, right? So here we go. There's going to be some quiet now as well. He's going to replenish. I'm going to replenish, and I'm interested in getting my like fortresses up now. So I'm out here gathering more stone. Unfortunately, this fortress isn't near any resources, because when you build a fortress, you want to have villagers near it so they can just jump in, right? And obviously using the fortress to expand on the map to get resources. But I had to just put it here, obviously, for the sacred site. I put it slightly back because I've learned in the past that really forward it's susceptible to Treb assaults. So what I do is I put it slightly back, and then, you know, they're going to have to come more forward if they want to try and trap it down. Then I can advance and I get like a really big zone. It's like pretty much out here where I get the healing and the extra 20%. Plus I'm getting the +1 range and a ranged armor by having the desert aura on this. So yeah, right now everything kind of slows down in terms of aggro, my army values looks fantastic, right? But it's because I'm dropping fortresses. So the mistake I made here was not, continuing to build my units. I think I'm saving up to go to the next age, potentially. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really just focusing on, so over here is a great one because I've got stone and gold and it's near the sacred site. And here I think I'm safe because I'm far away enough and, not too far from my own TC. So yeah, he's building his units. And yeah, my army value looks better, but let's see, we got 30 and yeah, about the same actually here, but he starts to grow exponentially. Let's see what the income per minute saying. So same on food. I'm better on gold, he's better on wood. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, a bit quiet. Everyone's just kind of like just getting their houses in order, I guess. When you see the pros playing, your beasties and your Corvinus, those guys are just, the APM is just insane. So they're just doing the most, right? But that's not going to happen at high gold, mid platinum level. We don't have that same kind of cerebral capacity. It's part of the learning curve, man. It's part of the journey, right? So he's pumping, man. He's going, it looks like, for a lot of ranged. Yeah, look, 22 crossbow and 22. So it's a 50-50 split archers. And is that a problem for me? Because, no, I've got crossbows and archers as well, but I've got 5. So those spearmen are worthless. And these guys are going to get chewed up as well. And these 7 man-at-arms. See, at this stage, I should have used my scout, to look at what he was doing. I'm just expecting a mixed composition, but this guy decides to go full range, and that's gonna bite him in the butt later. You'll see. That's actually what actually wins me the game. So I do make the necessary adjustments. This is what's required at this level. Being able to make changes on the fly, make decisions based upon what's going on. Like, so real time in game. He's got his scout still over here again, just precariously positioned. I can only assume it's maybe that gold he wants to go on, because yeah, looking on the map, he's got this gold in the back, this one. So maybe he's contemplating just seeing what happens with this one. Food he's not going to have to worry about. Obviously, once he goes into imp, he starts getting that gold through his farming. And if he starts trading, he might want to come here. Maybe that's why he's there. But I've got the fortress there. So yeah, let's look at the army value. It's kind of, it looks like I'm ahead, but no, sir. When he moves out, I'll pause it and we'll do a count. We'll do an audit. But so I've got a third and fourth going up. So one right by my base. I've learned in the past as well not to, you've got to take care of home before you start doing anything wild. And on top of that, it gives me more pilgrims, right? So my gold income's phenomenal right now. Yeah, 750 a minute. Food income's a G a minute. Yeah, decent wood as well. So yeah, just building up production units. Got siege workshop. Oh, check this out. So yeah, I'm sending these guys out over on the map to build a mill That's our outpost, and I will wall off this section, and that's a great source of food for me. With the boar, the deer, and the berries there. So, and yeah, he's got no view of that, no vision of that. I take the sacred site. No, I'm getting the relic first. I'll probably go and grab that one next. So again, yeah, very peaceful. Last maybe even 10 minutes it's been. But this kind of favors English. You know, he's kind of shown his hand. He's like, I'm not going to just sit in my base and let you hit me from all angles and raid whatever. You know, in fact, he's been he's hit me with a couple of counter punches as well. So definitely a good game. Like, a lot to learn from it, and challenging. You know, it's all about the decision making. You know, this what the in-game decision making and the kind of the pre-planned stuff. So I went for Chevalier, then I went for Kingdom of Castile. Sorry, to give me the sacred site kind of. I think I heard Corvinus say one time it's like a Kurutai, which I think is the Mongols or one of those civs, and it just, you know, heals the units and gives them extra power. So I want to bait him into this. Okay, so let me just pause it here. So, well, look at the army value. It looks like we're even now, right? So before he moves out, we'll do a count. But I mean, you can already see that my army's not that big. I'm just, like I say, just sorting out my income. And it looks like, yeah, I'm almost, no, I'm not actually. Maybe I am. No, I was saving up. Yes, and I am at the next age now. And I think I've gone for, can we see on them? Can we see? Did I go for? I didn't go for, did I? Oh, sorry, yes, I've gone for 220 Knights. 220 Knights in the building. And the reason I did that is because my gold income's great. When the gold income is quite poor, I go for Condottiero, the Italian soldiers, and it's mainly for the trading, not for the units. But okay, so I take that sacred site and look, he's on the move. So let me just pause it there, zoom out. Let's get rid of the mini map, and so army value looking. It actually looks like I'm stronger, right? But let's do a count. So Bosch, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 105, right? 105 versus 10, 20, 30, 40, let's round it to 50. So, got to take into account I am in the next age, so I've got a couple of upgrades. My units are slightly better, but it doesn't matter. You know, there's times where people would stay in the lower age just to build up their army, and you know, with regards to timing, and they can catch you out. So that provokes, when I started taking the sacred site, it provoked him to come over, and I shouldn't have done that. I wouldn't prefer him to come over to this one, obviously. But yeah, so he comes over. He sees, I'm pretty sure he sees the double fortress. Yeah, he tries to come and attack, but then he's like, nope. So he backs out. So he didn't even get a chance to neutralize the sacred site. So he goes back. And the reason, you know, the thing with this movement is, if you look on the map, right, the thing with the centralized aspect is that the bases are facing each other, right? And if you move on the flanks too much, you open yourself up to some kind of a direct attack. So at these kind of low to mid level ranks, people are going to be more conscious of that. And this is why it kind of suits when I play this sacred site kind of strategy, especially when it's right in the middle, because that's when you have the head-on collisions and head-on clashes. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's the kind of logic that I'm using. So let's bring up the army value again. He's just, I mean, I think he's at pop. He's pop capped right now. I am nowhere near that. So yeah, he's going to centralize himself again. I think he's going to make a move actually. Yeah, he's making a move. He's decided, all right, I'm going to go. So he decides to move on this side, maybe because he saw that double fortress. So looking at the army value here, it looks like I'm ahead, right? So again, let's do a little count up. Boom. So 60 crossbows, 50 archers, 9 spearmen, and he's got a mango in there. And what am I dealing with? So he's got 120 versus 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, bro. 65. So he pretty much is outnumbering me 2 to 1. Even with this sacred site bonus, the aura bonus, it's not going to be enough to repel this attack. So let's see what happens. Let's get rid of the mini map. Okay, so yeah, my units do well to begin with. I've got the Templar brothers, and I've got the Teutonic Knights. They debuff, right? So that's I just didn't have enough though. That's the problem. So once they, chew through those guys, it's just range on range. And yeah, I get the +1 range armor, +1 range attack, and I get the. I think the 20% attack might just be melee. I'm not sure. So yeah, he takes out my whole army. Decides to pull back. I'm not sure why. He probably, maybe he's going to be thinking, he's bringing, bringing more units forward, and he's obviously got the fortress to worry about. So yeah, he pulls back. Hasn't neutralized the sacred site, so I think he's going to come back in. And I mean, the crazy thing is, I've got no units on the field. I've got this. So imagine he can't see that, right? He's thinking, he's being cautious. This is what happens when you're at the high levels, because I've done that in the past. At gold, just rushed in. So he tries to build his Berkshire Palace, but because I've got counterweight trebs on the fortresses, he had to build it backwards. So again, just good play on both sides, man. He comes back in, and yeah, he doesn't know, man, that I'm so weak right now. But even in saying that, even if he did try to charge me, what can he do? I don't have burning oil yet on this, but archers aren't going to take, and crossbowmen, I'm not going to take down the fortress. But just behind, he could just push into my base. But at this stage, it's, you've got to play it safe. He doesn't know what's beyond. Yeah. So I'm nice over here, going on the ball. He's moving across to the other side, and that makes sense because now he's putting down his Berkshire Palace. So he's got that as his defensive mark to fall back on, right? And this is when it starts to get a bit spicy. We're half an hour into the game, and it's been a good game, man. It's definitely been a good game. I obviously start to build units. I always get trebs because they're obviously going to want to try and treb down the fortress. So I will have 2 or 3 I'd like to have to hit back on the trebs, and we get double projectiles as well. So it is a good strategy. So there you go. So he's got 2 trebs on this side, and he's taking out this one. And I'm not too precious. Sometimes I just let them actually take one down. I think I'm actually gonna bring these guys across. Let's expand the mini map. Yeah, don't get too shook. Whoops, sorry. Don't get too shook. So yeah, bringing my guys across. And I guess I would start to rally over to this side as well. So he neutralizes. Whoops. He comes across, neutralizes. And he makes a bit of a mistake here because he tries to, he thinks the trebs are hitting this. So, if he just stays there, he'll get it down. But even without villagers in these fortresses, I'm taking out a lot of his units. I don't think there's a spring hold in there. But just with the arrows slits are actually doing decent damage. So he does what he came to do. He neutralizes the sacred site, and he takes out pretty much, he takes out the fortress. So I'm calm, I'm all right with that, because what I'm trying to do now is just, get my units in position and get some units on the field, because after that fight, I was in big trouble. But here you go. Look at my response. Mango City, right here. Look at this. Because I understood, he rushed me twice now with just pure ranged units. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to bring out Teutonic Knights. I'm not going to bring out Templar Brothers in mass. I'm going to bring out Siege. And so I've got my Trebs, and you're going to see I'm going to make some mistakes here. Yeah, we're trying to figure out the range. Look at the range. The range is insane on this Berkshire Palace. So I couldn't really get it at first. And again, I'm glad I built my fortress slightly further back. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out the position, getting burnt. And this goes on for a little while actually, but it's calm because I'm getting the mango parade going. Getting my elite crossbowmen on the field. I got a couple springholds in there as well, springholds, just to get some ranged attack, because when they're coming in with their ranged, my front line's getting chewed up pretty quick, so it's what's happening with the back line is going to be important as well. So yeah, got good mix composition. I've got Templar Brothers, I've got elite crossbowmen, bare mangoes in the building. We've got 11 mangoes, 3 Teutonics, couple sprinkled in, and my Trebs. And now, okay, still trying to figure out, I don't know what I did here, trying to rush a White Tower. Berkshire Palace is not to be messed about with. So, like a fool, I just lose these units, come back. I thought maybe he was going to rush forward as well and would clash in the middle. It didn't happen, obviously. So yeah, I come back, and then here he made a big mistake. He must have just sent all his vills over to this gold vein without actually, maybe he queued them up. Yeah, he was sending them over here to a stone. I think this was. No, this was an old gold vein, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, they got murked. Yeah, as you can see, with the dead bodies laying on the ground. So now, I'm still, as you can see, I still haven't figured it out. But I do get there in the end. So yeah, he's got his farming eco going. Let me switch back over to mine. So now I'm approaching pop cap as well. And this is where the big fight is going to happen. So I get my Trebs in the right place. I should have had these guys pretty much here to kind of protect in case there's going to be a rush. But he can't rush me with ranged units, right? And look, down goes the BP, and here's the rush. So that horseman was a G, man. He took out that Treb. Those two of them took out those Trebs. They done their job, so they get murked. But it's fine because I got these guys just charging forward, right? And I got to say, his micro was on point here, man. For controller, he does really well, but at the same time, I'm doing well. I'm pushing forward. I've got my range units pushing with the Mango Central Treb City right behind as well, and he's just getting pushed back. He's getting pushed back, and it's too late. It's too late for him. His army composition is failing him. Let's see what happens here. He tries to make a push, right, and he does actually finish off my units that are pushing forward, right? But let's see what happens with regards to when he meets up with the mangoes. So this is what I'm saying about decision making and real time decision making. So look at his army value now, plummeting. So he comes forward. He knows he's got to get rid of these mangoes, but look what happens. Boy, absolute destruction. And look at that army value plummeted. Curtains. It's pretty much curtains. But if I make a wrong move, if I'm too gung ho, it could swing back in his favor. So I take my time, Trebs are doing some good damage. I'm bringing in units, running them across the field. So a couple of veteran chevaliers, pilgrims are going across, and then yeah, we're just grouping up. I really should have sent another monk over to here to the sacred site, but yeah, I got good gold income. He has run out of gold, although you know he's getting a decent amount from his farming, as you can see. What do they call it? I can't remember the name of the upgrade. But okay, let's get back to the fighting. Let's get rid of that mini map. So yeah, I'm sieging down the White Tower. There's nothing he can do. You know, he hasn't got any cav to come and rush in here. He doesn't have like, you know, any kind of heavy melee units, and that's a mistake he's made by going, you know, full ranged. And that army composition actually, you know, he won that battle, but it's not going to win the war. I'm just taking my time, you know, playing it smart and playing it safe. You know, the win's in the bag, but I don't want to give him any opportunity to you know, to make some kind of a counter move or anything like that. As I said, I've learned in the past about taking care of home. So yeah, I've got fortresses all around, and now we go for the final push. So so the horsemen were diving in, but I pulled them back, right? And now they're going to go and do damage over here. So you know, he can't pull. If he pulls all those vills, he's got no food income. It's curtains. So the Trebs are actually doing good damage, you know, and you know, he's staying just far away enough from the mangoes, but you can't just keep running back forever, right? Because now I've got rams coming in, you know, some rams, mangoes, Trebs, and you know, we don't have gunpowder units as KT, but we get cheaper siege weapons, so you've got to make use of them. The English, he could have come out with gunpowder units, but he did decide not to do that. That would have worked well against KT. But yeah, this is pretty much where it all kind of finishes up. G to the G. Game's over. It went really well with Xbox. When you finish the game, it doesn't show you the map. It just sort of, when you're playing a replay, that is. So you have to go back to your kind of matches and have a look. So yeah, we come back over to match history, and you go into your game and you see at the top here, you get the timeline. Let's go onto the timeline. So pretty even, and look, I'm full behind, big time here. And then it takes me ages to get back up. But look at the second fight, tables are turned. And then look at the third fight. Yeah, it's all about what happens in the mid game. It's like chess. Yeah, you got your opening. You just want to get past the first 12 moves or so, 12, 15 moves. And then it's what happens in this mid game that's going to determine really how the end game is executed. And in chess, that's my strongest part of my game is the end game. My weakest part is actually the opening. And it's the same in AoE 4. Like, I do fall victim to a lot of early aggressive civs, French in particular. But yeah, once I figure out what's going on in the mid game and, you know, I make the kind of real-time decisions when it comes to late game, especially with KT, man, they get so strong when they get the fortresses out, the pilgrims are rolling, gold's running out on the map. KT, just, you know, that snowball effect, they're beastly. Let's look at village accounts. So, he lost a few. That was that early attack where I took out his vills, and we pretty much was on the same trajectory until here, where he lost that large amount where he sent them accidentally over, and then at the end, all the farming ones. Vills got destroyed. Let's have a look at military count. So again, pretty even over here at the 15-minute mark, aging up pretty much at the same time, and it was here. So I was saving up to go imp, And then when that battle happened here, I just didn't have enough units, which is why he went from like 122 to 91, so he lost about 30 units. I went from 70 down to pretty much just my scout. So I lost like 60 units, he lost 20. And you could say in hindsight, like he could watch the replay back and say, oh, I should have just pushed forward, but he's got to play it safe as well. You know, I've got fortresses on the map. He doesn't know if I've got another army that's just waiting in the wings. So you just can't rush in like that. But ultimately, you know, that kind of cost him. I made the adjustment, pulled out the mango parade on him, and at that stage, once the big push happens, it's too late. You're not going to be able to rejig your army composition at that stage. So let's look at resources gathered. So I did better across the board. Food, he's obviously going to be better on food. Let's have a look. Food gathered. No, wow, I did better on food. Interesting. Maybe that's because I went over on the boar. Yeah, I went over on the boar. Wood, stone, I'm better, and gold, of course, I'm better. So statistically, so I'm on the bottom. So yeah, I won everything. Military, massive. Economy, almost doubled. Technology, doubled. Society, doubled. So yeah, the long game is going to pay off in the long game. Let's see with the military. So I killed, 200. 345. Yeah, versus 200. And look at a large army. So it's what happens after, once the fight is done. Who's got army left over? So that was me. Economy. So yeah, better on everything. So yeah, I did really well economically. Not the greatest in terms of like in the combat side of things, but I made up for it in mid to late game. Technology, so I aged up first, then he beat me by a minute here. But yeah, my research was much better as well. So better army composition, higher quality units, and obviously the better in terms of matchmaking society here. So yeah, he didn't go for any relics. I got 3 relics. I ended up with 100 villagers. Normally I like to cap it at 80 actually, but I think so much was going on, I just let it carry on. And yeah, I did well there. When I first started playing this used to be up to 10 minutes. So I'm pretty happy to see that number there. All right, I'll see you soon. Take care.